I've taken my headphones off, so I'm gonna try to hear you guys as much as I can. But let me just put it. I guess the front area, right? Right, Dr. Charles?
Yeah, like right in the very front.
Okay. So on the side or on in the right in the middle?
I would do it more toward, do a little bit there, and then you'll do some over in the corner, more toward
Okay.
the corner.
So I'm gonna flip it to that. Now let's try to focus.
Oh my God, it's all over, dude.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good view. I mean, I have to say that it's relatively clear. And as you know, when you have whites, lighter skin, which you have lighter colored skin and darker hair, the spaces appear to be more prominent, and you are looking at a pretty heavy level of magnification. So those spaces between the where the hairs are exiting the scalp appears to be a little more spread apart than maybe someone would imagine, and they probably are a little more spread apart than other areas of your scalp. But then again, in the hairline, they kind of are supposed to be. So
let me see if I could spread it apart a little bit more.
Now, again, I'm not a physician, but I don't see a lot of miniaturization. I see a separation, and I see maybe there are areas where the grafts or follicular units aren't growing. But what I see growing, it looks pretty thick.
I do see some finer hairs, but then again, people do have a mix. Every single one of someone's hairs are not the same diameter.
Right.
So having a little bit of variation in diameter is not really that strange either. Even if you went back in the donor area, you're going to see that. But you probably just wouldn't see as much space in between where the hairs are exiting the scalp.
So let me try to move this to right in the center. Let's see if
Now, is that your widow's peak in the center of your hairline?
it's my widow's peak.
Yeah, that's a good image.
I don't see a lot of what we like really short miniaturized hairs. I agree with Spencer on that. I just see some hairs that appear to be full length, but they're just not, and maybe it's quite as good thick as far as diameter is concerned as some of the other hairs. But they don't feel short. I don't see a lot of damaged hairs, a lot of short hairs. I also don't see a lot of new hairs coming out of the scalp that might be just cycling hairs. Do you have a family history of hair loss?
My grandfather, my mother's side, everybody's bald.
On your mother's side, Dad's got pretty good hair though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, his is all right. I mean, his side. I mean, I'll go down the list. His uncles are in their 80s and they have crazy hair.
Unfortunately, you could have gotten a combination of genes from both sides of the family, and it's really hard to pinpoint that. What might be happening is this was your time to kind of grow into your adult hairline.
And that's what I'm trying to tell him, Doc. He doesn't want to believe me. He thinks that I'm trying to spare his feelings. I'm like, look, there are a lot of guys that, you'll see a slight recessed hairline. They call it a mature hairline, and sometimes it stays that way for 20 years. If you don't see a lot of shedding, you don't see a lot of miniaturization, if you don't see a significant change, then I just think he should wait. He's talking about getting on Propecia. It may not be a bad idea, but sometimes, as you know, that could exacerbate the hair loss in some people. And he could just go through this, terrible shedding phase, which I think would be awful for the guy.
Well, it is a tough call. It's a tough call because you don't know if Propecia is really going to have any effect in the frontal area anyways. And you hate to expose people to other side effects or start kind of stirring up some shedding in other areas. But then again, you don't want to wait too long. It's a really tough decision on when to start and if you should even start at all.